Okay.
Okay, it's recording.
Okay, this is Douglas Dunn, Chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is our meeting, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, special meeting of February 17th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Mike Ablin, John Ballas, Douglas Dunn here, Sandy Hoosman,
Here.
Nancy Parana,
Here.
Michael Smitzer,
Here.
and we have Doug Taylor, staff liaison. I now call a call to the public. Does anyone online have something that they wish to speak on other than the agenda items before us? If not, we'll move on to agenda item 1, which I guess has been removed. Is that correct, Doug?
Right, it's been removed.
Okay.
Can I ask why?
There was, there were too many moving parts and they had opposition from other members of the neighborhood, so they removed it.
Okay. Is it going to come back up or is it dead?
Well, in the format that it's in now, it's dead. It's completely withdrawn.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 2.
Sorry. Can I say something in addition? I didn't know you were going to address the withdrawn item.
Okay, pardon me.
That's okay. I didn't know it was going to come up. That's why I logged in, just in case. I just want to say that I believe that it was a good plan. I'm sorry it didn't work out. And I still plan to pursue my part of the parcel with you separately. Whenever I learn how to do that, you can expect a smaller proposal on a smaller piece of land that was part of the entire parcel. So, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments on that before we move on?
Contact me on that one. We'll put you in when you want to do that, we'll put you in the queue.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Okay, move on to agenda item 2, which is, this is again, something that was tabled at our last meeting, discussion and possible recommendation to the mayor and city council. Consideration of a request for the transfer of 413.08 square feet of city-owned property adjacent to 4 Spring Canyon, Queen Street, located southeast of Tombstone Canyon. Not yet established parcel number. The property is zoned R1. The applicant is Jeff and Melanie Magnochi. Staff, do you want to give us an update on this?
Yes, we've looked at the parcel at the top of the hill and at the rest of Queen Street, besides what they've asked there in their survey, and have found that it would be to give them the opportunity to go to auction with, or go to transfer with the 413.08 square feet would not have an adverse effect on any interest that the city has in those properties. So it is, the terrain is just unbelievably rough. And what they're asking for is a 28+ foot length of parking space there, and the city feels that's a fair thing to put in for a transfer. So no opposition from the city to that. And there apparently has been no opposition from neighbors and such. So my recommendation is we go forward with that.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this? Is the applicant online?
I don't, oh, is he on?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Again, you spoke to us last month. You have anything you want to add?
No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, seems like a logical thing to me. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend to mayor and city council the transfer of 413.08 square feet of city-owned property adjacent to Four Spring Canyon, Queen Street, located southeast of Tombstone Canyon, not yet established parcel number, for the sum of $5 per square foot for a total of $2,066.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll do a roll call vote. Douglas Dunn, aye. Sandy Hoosman,
Yes,
okay. Nancy Piranha,
Yes,
okay. Mike Smitzer,
Nay,
okay, then it carries. We'll move on to, let's see here, agenda item 3. Discussion and possible recommendation. Again, this has been an item that that was tabled, and that we're acting on it tonight. Discussion and possible recommendation to the mayor and city council. Consideration of a request, the transfer of 120 square feet of city-owned property adjacent to unaddressed parcel 103-60-245A. This is an unaddressed vacant parcel described as APN 103-60-246. The property is zone R1. Applicant is Nancy Fowler Crowley and Wells Crowley. Staff, do you have an update on this?
Yes, I was tasked with finding out if the abutter had been notified, and they indeed had been. And there has been no dissent to this transfer, so I feel like it's an okay. We've done our due diligence, and if you want to go forward, it's fine.
Okay, is there,
Can I
is
ask
the
a
applicant online?
can we have a discussion, Doug? We skipped the
Yeah.
discussion on the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, pardon me. Is the applicant online? Okay, we'll open this for discussion then. Nancy, did you have a statement?
yeah, I did. I just wanted to know, I'm sorry, Doug, where was this parcel located again? I did know where the other one was located. Agenda item number 2. I don't know agenda item number 3. I don't know where that is.
It's on Williams Avenue, and it's adjacent to 300 William.
Oh,
And
yes,
there's an undeveloped parcel with the APN, and I don't have it right in front of me, but it's the APN in the packet.
yeah. So it's when you go past Star around the corner to William, is that correct?
It'll slightly up the hill there, yeah.
Yes, I now I know. Okay.
Further discussion, questions?
Doug, have you been on site?
Me, yes.
Is there a roadway going through that property?
It's a,
300?
there is a Williams, it's a dirt road, but yes, it's on that property and goes right through there. I don't know how that affects their property, because the APN and the property dimensions for the primary property, let's call it the APN that I don't have before me, unfortunately, that actually crosses Williams, and I don't know how that works, but that happens a lot in Bisbee, so it's not like the road is impassable because they own property over it. The city roads are a right of ways across several different parcels that I've just dealt with in the last couple of weeks. So I know that is not going to hinder transit across there.
Doug, is this where Williams almost dead ends, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
It ends at 300, I believe, and they're the end of that road. There isn't any way that I can see. I haven't seen a right of way or an easement, but we don't always issue those. But there isn't any way that they can hinder access to 300 through that.
What do you mean by that, Doug?
Well, that they even though that property spans technically spans the roadway, they cannot keep anyone. They can't allow a landlocked piece, that being 300 Williams. So they have to allow their neighbor to go across that property.
Okay, so there's a constructive easement then?
No, that's what, I couldn't find an actual easement for it. I don't know, that would be probably something for 300 Williams to investigate. We don't actually, we have right of ways, but we don't actually, I don't know if we don't actually issue easements. We could, you guys could, but what I'm thinking here is that, well, as I'm thinking it out loud, it's striking me that we should verify I hate to do this again to them, but we should verify that there's access to 300. What I did was verified that 300, the owners of 300 were notified. But as I'm speaking out loud about this, I'm remiss in not giving you information that it is possible for this group from 300, the owners from 300 Williams to cross that property, and I should confirm that prior to, I hate to do it, but I'm going to ask you to table it again.
Yeah, Doug, I don't really have a problem with the objection to it. Their application said they just wanted it for turning.
Yeah,
If you want to do it for turning, they can turn on city property.
Yeah.
It just, my gut tells me that they want to landlock 300.
I believe they can't do that, but what I don't want you to do is vote in favor of it until I have that information. And I was remiss in not getting, I didn't think it through enough until I started speaking about it tonight, to give you the confirmation that it would not be landlocking. We can't do that. We can't landlock it. So therefore, I want to confirm that we are not landlocking it. You shouldn't be voting on something that would possibly landlock it, and then we go back and we nullify that vote. I don't think that works.
Did you attempt to talk to, the OK Street, you talked to all the homeowners and things like that. Did you happen to talk to the homeowners of 300 Williams?
No, we notified them by mail, certified mail, but we did not speak to them directly.
Did they return the certified mail?
I believe so. I was informed they did.
Okay, then they have been informed. I know I
Yeah.
have a number of PO boxes I check every 3 months
Right.
that could be used.
But I do think, I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but I do think my advice right now is to table once again, and that's on me, and I'm sorry about that.
Do we have
Motion to table to next month.
Yeah, because I really want to get all the details on crossing over that property, and I will speak to 300, the people personally speak to the folks at 300 Williams.
Where is the access to 300 Williams?
Right off the Star, and it goes across the APN that we're talking about.
So that is their only access.
Right, so I don't believe that
Okay,
meant to be curtailed, but I want to verify that before you vote on it. I don't think it would be appropriate if it was curtailing their access, even though we wouldn't allow that. It would, for you to vote in favor of allowing them the configuration that would allow them to not to control that crossover, that right of way. I don't think that's appropriate. So I want to get more information for you, and I apologize.
Do you have a motion for tabling this?
All motion to table until next month.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right,
Opposed? Okay, it's been tabled. Now move on to commissioner comments and future agenda items.
So I have a couple questions. There was, in our agenda, there was number 1, number 2, and number 3 in that email. The meeting day for planning and zoning, the meeting for Zoom, and then number 3 was participation. Can we discuss that here at this time? It was in the email that was sent yesterday at 11:30.
Okay,
Staff
that,
comments.
yeah, my understanding is, well, we can give you that information and then it can be put on the agenda in the next, we do have the information, but because Nina was out, I couldn't access her computer, so we didn't send the rest of those. I knew the ones that I sent you, you know, in that memo, I knew the answers for those, and those were the ones that pertain to you know, questions from commissioners. The others were things like graffiti and conflicts of interest, things like that. So we have that all written, and we will send that to you hopefully this coming week. Although I'm off this coming week, so I don't know that we'll get it out but we'll have it within the next 10 days. And there's a packet for you. That was going to be in your agenda packet yesterday. The others were I'm sorry, Nancy, which one did you mention that with a question?
Well, I guess my general question was, the number 1, number 2, and number 3, are you saying that all 3 of them are going to come up on a future agenda? And because you didn't have access to that information yesterday, but are these things that are going to come up in a future agenda? And more specifically, number 3, participation on more than one board.
Yeah, those were just answers as far as I knew. Doug, you might, do we discuss those answers at this? We can discuss them if that's part of the notification we've done. I don't think we did that, so they were just answers to your questions.
Okay.
I know that the comments from the commissioners are generally not for discussion.
Okay.
So we could put it on the next, I guess, on the next agenda. If you would like, we could, I think, Doug, if I'm correct, we could put it on the agenda for all of those answers to all those questions to be discussed. I don't think there's a problem with that, but we need to notice, post it. Am I right, Doug?
I think so generally. I mean, to me, this is general information, and that is that the mayor and council do have the right to allow a person to serve on more than one commission.
Yeah, and
That's part of the motion. That's part of the motion that a council makes and approves when, someone is named to a commission, and that's their second commission.
Yeah, and my understanding was that the answer, yes, that can be done, was the answer to the question. But if we want to discuss it, not unlike the lifting of the Zoom meeting, mandatory Zoom meetings, I think we can do that, but we need to put it on the agenda. Now, if you would like all of the answers to those last questions on the agenda to discuss, I believe we have to post that. Sometimes I know we go outside of the parliamentary procedures for the sake, I quite often think, like last week, there was a discussion between various parties on that OK Street. I think that's actually a healthy thing, and that, I'm willing to think, well, this is good. It's government at work, and parliamentary might have messed that up. And it did have its desired result for at least one of the folks talking. I would feel better if we could put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, the only one that I'm interested in having on the agenda would be the participation on more than one board. I mean, I think that that's interesting and, you know, that's one that I would like to have on the agenda as to, you know, because my memory's shot, and so I can't even remember how that question came up. But I do think it's important that we have a discussion that we can talk about, you know, if there's a conflict of interest or yada, yada, you know, all the things that we should not be discussing now.
Yeah, that would, if that's, you know, maybe we just say, I don't know quite how to do it, but I think we can put that on the agenda for the next time. And I think through your comments and through other members of the commission's comments, we can add things to that. So number one, we're going to put that on the agenda for discussion. Number two, does anybody have any other that they would like to put out of that list? I think we could.
Yes, I just wanted to point out to you, Doug,
Yeah.
membership in committees is specified in the city code. It's 2.8.1.d,
Yeah,
and it does limit you to one advisory board.
but the mayor has the option of assigning more than one board or commission, and I don't know what that is right offhand. I had a packet and I don't have it with me now, but
Well, Article 2.8 should be part of our presentation for next meeting.
yeah, I think so. So 2.8, yeah, I think that's great. And is there any other items that?
Yes, I would like to know what the city code requirements are regarding graffiti. And I want to make that discussion.
Okay,
I have not researched that myself, but I think if we do not have a strong graffiti program, that we need to institute one.
that is, what I think you're saying is you would like it to be an article within the zoning code, if it's not already. I think it's in the, I think it was in the city code. And I know we're discussing, and I'm sorry about that, but that is in the answer to your questions. That question about graffiti is in the packet I will be sending you. I will try to have Nina send it this week when she's back, this coming week. But we can put that on the discussion also, and discuss the possibility of if and we'll send this out before the next meeting, and then we could discuss at the next meeting with this background, the possibility of creating a new article for graffiti. If it doesn't already, you know, quite often these things are already covered somewhere. And
Correct, and that's the reason why I didn't want to do double duty.
Yeah.
But the graffiti in this town is getting a lot worse than it was 3 years ago. I think the whole world is getting more graffiti than it was 3 years ago.
and we maybe what we want to do is in a discussion is determine what's art and what is graffiti. You know what I mean? There seems
Correct.
to be an overlap.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's the right.
Any other comments, suggestions for future agenda items?
Yeah, I have another question. And there was a second email that went out yesterday, and it was the staff liaison comment. Can we comment on that, or can I get together with you privately, Doug, and discuss that, or just so I understand what that's about?
Yeah, you can, or you could put it on the agenda for next time if you'd like. But you know, and I do want everybody to feel free to discuss things with me. My door is open as much as it can be. You know, I quite often I have meetings and such, but we can schedule something and meet pretty rapidly.
Okay.
There was another email regarding staff liaison?
It was sent out pretty shortly. I'll tell you exactly when it was sent out. So That one was sent out at 1:35 yesterday. And it was just saying, Bisbee Planning and Zoning Staff Liaison comment, but I don't want to discuss it if we can't, if we shouldn't discuss.
Okay, that was not for discussion, but it is possible to discuss it. It's just, it wasn't for an open meeting discussion. We could put it on the agenda like the other, but we can do that over the course of the month too. So if you're not satisfied with the discussion you have with me or Nina, you could certainly put that on there.
Yeah, and I think that if I meet with you or Nina, that, I'll be satisfied. It's just that when it came across, I'm like, oh, is there something that, it was obviously important enough to send, so I just wanted to make sure that I addressed it.
And it is important enough, and I don't mean to discuss it, but I guess I am preliminarily. It is important enough because I want you to feel free, all of you and all of my other board members in other things, to feel free to come and discuss. We can't do it as a group, but we can do it individually.
Got it.
Further,
And get open for you.
further comments and suggestions for commissioner comments and future agenda item suggestions?
I guess I have just one. I didn't see it in this agenda really, and the attachments to this agenda. But I know in some of the past where the staff has commented on the agenda item and made a recommendation, I guess I would like to see that be a little more generic. I feel like a lot of times the suggestions are, well, I don't know how to say this. The suggestions are pretty much telling us what we should probably do.
Well, that's
And
my
rather than, yeah, I know, but I think rather than having it appear that way, I think if it's written more on a statement of facts or pros and cons, or just something a little more generic than making it sound like, this is what we think should happen. Does that make sense?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Well, we do need, though, this is called a possible motion. We do need to have a.
Right, we need that. Yeah,
We do need to have a prepared motion that
right.
that meets all legal requirements.
I agree. I'm talking to usually the attachment that that accompanies that.
Okay. Further comments? Are we ready to adjourn?
Think so.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Guys, take
I
care.
All right.